Are you planning to travel to the US in 2024 this summer or in the future to work for 1 year? Well, if this is what you're looking for to come here and experience the culture, also how everything works in the culinary and hospitality field, keep watching. This video intended to inform you some informative informations that help you to understand more about the J1 visa, exchange, visitor program. Also, if you are study or graduated or actually working in the culinary and hospitality field for the last almost 2 years up to 10 years, you actually can add this to your bucket list and come here to work for a sponsor for a year in the US and also gain knowledge and also make money, and you can also travel while you're working here. Also, if you would like to learn more how this can help you to actually improve your English, your skills and experience in the future, I would like to share that with you with first, what is the definition of J1 visa? Also, what is the program about? At the same time, is this leading to anything benefits you in the future? And lastly, we'll share with you how much it costs and everything you need to know in order to apply for this J1 visa in the US under this company. First of all, my name is Hanva and I am a life coach. At the same time, I have a company to help immigrants come here and reach their full potential, especially through educations, at the same time different ways of gain their visa process by sharing the information with them so they can do their research based on the USCIS website. And if you never have a chance to actually look up my company, feel free to do so before watching more details so you understand what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's jump into learning more about the definitions of the J1 visa exchange visitor program. Alright, so let's do this together before jumping in and share with you the J1 visa. You need to understand what are different categories here under the USCIS websites and also what is your long-term goal before coming to the US. So if you don't know, I would like to emphasize that I've been sharing a lot of information about the green card application through employment EB3 visa, and right now I would like to share with you the how to get 10 years green card through an EB3 visa. Also at the same time, 10 ways to get 10-year green card or green card in general. So first of all, disclaimer, this presentation intends to provide information, not give any legal advice. Also, you can actually reach out to me on my personal level, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. Feel free to comment and I will answer more questions that relate to the topics at the same time in my ability based on my knowledge. If it's outside of whatever I'm capable of, I would highly recommend it that you reach out to your attorneys or anyone have the ability to answer those questions. At the same time, this is the contents of the videos that I would like to recap about 10 ways to get green card. So before going to that, we will head to our USCIS website in order for you to understand different eligibility categories here. So based on the USCIS, US Citizenships and Immigration Services, you can actually go to the website and click under the green card tab right here, and you will see more information about different categories. So in here they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, around 8 categories that you can learn more. First of all, to apply for a green card, you must be eligible under one of the categories listed below. Once you find a category that might fit your situations, click on the link provided to get information or eligibility requirements, how to apply, and whether your family members can also apply with you. So the first green card is through the family. So if you have family here or relatives, or someone that actually connects your mom, your father, then they actually can sponsor your parents to come here and you will be here for family reunion. But if you don't have anyone, it might be a really tough and difficult, and maybe this is not for you. So if you think that this is not, you gotta move to the next one. Next one is leading to the green card through employment here. As mentioned, anyone actually coming to US either through family or come here for school or even travel or here for entrepreneur, anything, you actually need to start with a job. And knowledge here in the US is everything. If you want to get somewhere in life, that is the most important thing. And also that's the reason why my company actually concentrates on employment, actually training people who improve on their knowledge, their skill sets, mindsets, and also professionalism in order to reach somewhere in life here in the state. So for that reason, if you think that you don't have family here, but you have the intention to change your life and also improve your living conditions, your knowledge, this would be the first thing you need to concentrate on through employment. But before actually getting a job here in the States or anywhere in the world, if you actually want to work at the big high-rise company and they pay you good salary, then you need to have an education or knowledge. Here, sometimes in the US, you don't need to have a degree in order to make money, but you need to have a good work ethics and also the dedications and what is your why in order to do something in life. But for me, employment is still something, because if you're starting out, you don't have money, these jobs actually provide you funding from the beginning to, they pay you so you can go work, you can learn from them instead. Also, you can know your ability to work through different environments, fields, in order to know which one you like most. For employment, if you thinking that you coming here to study, that will be one of the most popular green card, that it's a long-term investment. Because why? You come here to pursue an education in school here for people who from overseas, especially from different countries, are expensive. You pay triple educations and also limited work ability during school, and after that you have to file sponsorships and all of the requirements in order to achieve your goals. For that, you can see here under the website, you may be eligible to apply as immigration worker, also physicians national interest waiver, and also immigrants investor. So first of all, we're going to the immigration worker first. If you are the first preference immigration worker, meaning you have the extraordinary ability in science, art, education, business, or athletics, or an outstanding professor of researchers, or are multinational manager or executive who meet certain criteria. Second, are a second preference immigrant worker, meaning you are members of professionals that requires an advanced degree or have exceptional ability in science, art, or business, or are seeking a national interest waiver. And lastly, a third preference immigration worker, meaning you are a skilled worker, meaning your job requires a minimum of 2-year trainings or work experience, or professional, meaning your job requires at least a US bachelor degree of foreign language, or you are a member of the professions. And lastly, it's unskilled worker, meaning you perform unskilled labor requiring less than 2-year training or experience. So for this, if you actually watching the video from my channel, you will see that I concentrate on the third preference immigration worker here that share with you specific. You actually can go to that and learn more of the information, okay? Moving on is the physicians here. You can read more on their website. If you agree to work full-time in the clinical practice in designated underserved area for set period of time, and that also meets other eligibility requirements. And lastly is immigrants investor. So it have invested or are actively in the process of investing at least 1 million. They actually raise up 50,000 or 100,000 in a target employment area or infrastructure projects in a new commercial enterprise in the US, which will create full-time positions for at least 10 qualifying employees. So yeah, that you're reading more on the website. And the third one is a green card as a special immigrants, and you can through religious workers, special immigrant, juvenile, Afghanistan or Iraq national, international broadcaster, employee of international organizations or family members of NATO 6, employee or family member. Next one, green card through refugee or asylee status. You can do through asylee or refugee. And next one is green card for human trafficking and crime victims. Human trafficking victims or crime victims, reading more on the USCIS website. Next one, you can do green card for victims of abuse. VAWA, so petitioners, victim of battery or extreme cruelty, special immigrant, juvenile, and an abuse victim of battery or extreme cruelty, spouse or child under Cuban adjustment, and an abuse victim or battery spouse or child under Haitian's Refugee Immigration Fairness Act. Next one, different other category is from the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness, LRIF, and Diversity Immigration Visa Program, Cuban Adjustment Act, an abuse victim of spouse or child under Cuban Adjustment Act, dependent status under the HRIFA, also Luxembourg Parallel, Indo-Chinese Parallel Adjustment Act of 2000, American Indian born in Canada, person born in the United States to foreign diplomat, and Sections 13 diplomat. And lastly, green card through registry. You may be eligible to register for a green card if you have resided continuously in the US since before January 1st, 1972. So that all the informations for you to actually look into the green card and know more how to actually, get your green card and become a US citizen after a few period of time. You can read more on that website. Also, because like I mentioned, employment is a part of vital importance for people who come here or even travel here to work for a short period of time to return home. That's the reason why we jump into another one that actually showing you what is the J1 visa about. You actually can look up on their website. Let me see where that. Right here, if you're looking for J1 visa, and it will pops up in here under exchange visitors, and you can read more working in the United States. So there are different categories here for you to come here and work. There are also different things that we can actually list it out and then go in deep. First one is international entrepreneur rule. This they have the definitions, also the eligibility, and also how to apply here for you. Also, temporary worker through different visa, CW1, E1, E2, E2 treaty investor, E3, H1B, H2A, H2B, H3I, L1A visa, L1B, O0, P1A, P1B, P2, P3, Q, R1, TN, NAFTA professions. And permanent workers, employment base. So all the employment base is really important on one of the top 10 through employment, and you actually can read more information on that part. And next one is STEM employment pathway. They have employments for STEM employment in the US and also for non-immigrants, reading more on their USCIS. Next one is the entrepreneur employment pathway here, and they do have the immigration's pathway for entrepreneur employment in the US or non-immigrants or parallel pathway for entrepreneur employment in the US. And next we have the students and exchange visitor. We do have 3 subcategories in here: is Congrad 30 waiver program, also exchange visitor, and also students in employment. And next we have a temporary visitors for business. There's 3 categories: B1 temporary business visitor, GB temporary business visitor to Guam, is in Philippines, and also WB temporary business visitor under visa waiver program. And next we have the information for employers and employees. There are few subcategories in here: automatic employment authorizations document, EAD extensions, GHS support for the enforcement of labor and employment laws, also employers informations, and then employment authorizations in compelling circumstances. Option for non-immigrant worker following terminations of employment, report labor abuses, petitions process overview, and lastly is important information about working legally in the United States. Alright, so as I mentioned from the video, we're going to learn about the exchange visitor. So under the category of students exchange visitor right here, we click on the second one of the exchange visitor to learn more about what is the exchange visitor program. The J1 classifications exchange visitors is authorized for those who intend to participate in an approved program for the purpose of teaching, instructing, or lecturing, studying, observing, conducting research, consulting, demonstrating special skills, receiving training, or to receive graduate medical educational training. In carrying out the responsibility of exchange visitor program, the Department of State's designated public and private entities to act as exchange sponsor. J1 non-immigrations are therefore sponsored by an exchange program that is designated as such by the U.S. Department of State. These programs are designated to promote the interchange of person knowledge and skill in the field of education, art, and science. In January 2022, DOS announced measures to increase the flow of talent in science, technology, engineer, and math, stand for STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. The early career STEM research initiative connects certain J1 programs sponsored with STEM relevant sponsors, including businesses. Information on the education's experience and skill required to qualify is available on DOS website. And also, example of exchange visitor include but not limited to. There are actually a few informations. You are professor or scholar, research assistant, students, training, teachers, specialists, au pair, and camp counselor. So that is the top, whatever the USCIS website actually listed right here. Also, you can read more of the application process, also employment, family, visa holder, and also whatever related in here. All right. So because we already understand where is this information? Is this the J1 eligible for you to come here? And I hope that you understand a little bit about the exchange visitor. And now we're going to digging deeper about the J1 exchange visitor program, stand for XVP on the trainees and also, okay? Alright, so I found another website, which is the Travel State Government, for you to read more about the exchange visitor visa here. And for you to actually trust the process, also the information I'm sharing with you, I will list everything I found here today on the description, so make sure to like, subscribe, or follow, like, comments, whatsoever, to show the appreciations, also interact with people who have the similar questions like you. Also, this is the overview of the exchange visitor visa here. So generally, a citizen of a foreign country who wishes to enter the United States must first obtain a visa. either a non-immigration visa for a temporary stays or immigrants visa for permanent resident. So if you don't know the definitions, non-immigrants is you only stay here for a short period of time and not leading to anything. You return to your home country and carry on to your life in your hometown. If you obtain an immigrant visa, which is you come here and become green card holder, legal residents, and leading to citizenships, then you need to understand the non-immigrants and immigrants visa here that they listed. You can also find this information on the USCIS website to read more about definitions and also difference between these two. For this is exchange visitor is J visas, are non-immigrants visas for individuals approved to participate in exchange visitor programs in the United States. And exchange visitor categories includes au pair and educare, camp counselor, government visitors, intern, international visitor, Department of State use, musicians, professor and research scholars, also short-term scholars, specialists, student college or university, and student secondary, summer work travel, teacher, and training. Also, they also listed out for you to understand exchange visitor programs, travel pilot program, Australian, New Zealanders, Irish for intern work travel, and also West of South Korean, which is work, English study, and travel. And here they also list exchange visitor cannot travel on a visa waiver program or with visitor visa. An exchange visitor visa J is required to participate in the exchange visitor program in the U.S. Foreign national may not study after entering a visitor B visa is the tourist through the visa waiver program, VWP. For more information, you can go to the visa waiver program. Also, acceptance in the exchange visitor program. The first step is to apply for and be accepted into the exchange visitor program through a designated sponsorship organizations in the U.S. Visit Department of State J1 Visa Exchange Visitor Program website to learn more about the program requirements, regulations, and more. Also, even after the exchange visitor program accepts your participants, you will be registered for the Students in Exchange Visitor Information System. It's the service number and must pay the service I-901 fee except in certain cases. Consult your exchange visitor program sponsor. Visit the U.S. Immigration Customs and Enforcement ICE Students in Exchange Visitor Program SEVP website to learn more about the service and the service I-910 fee and how to apply. These are several steps to apply for a visa, and out of these steps you can complete then may vary by the U.S. Embassy and consulate. Please consult instructions on the embassy or consulate website. So they also listed out for you is complete online visa application, schedule the interview, and at the same time appointment wait time. It depends on the country you apply for. You can also actually check that. And they list out non-immigration visa types here for you to understand how long it takes. So let me actually do a quick demo here for Ho Chi Minh City, and they popped up right away how many calendar day and prepare for your interview, how much does it cost, and also gather requirement documents, and also legal rights protections, and anything you need to know. So there are also the 2-year home country physical presence requirement that really important for most people if you planning to come here at the under exchange visitor program. Read more on the travel.state.geo, stand for government, and you will understand more about the 2 years home country physical presence requirement. When you apply to participate in the exchange visitor program and your programs fall under the conditions below, you'll be subject to a 2-year home country physical present foreign resident requirement. This means you will be required to return to your home country for 2 years and at the end of your exchange visitor program. This requirement under immigration law is based on a section 212E of the Immigration and Nationality Act. 2-year home country physical present requirement conditions. An exchange visitor is subject to a 2-year home country physical present requirement if the following condition exists. First, it's government-funded exchange program. So the program is financed in a whole or part of directly or indirectly by the U.S. government or the government of the exchange visitor's nationality and last residence. Second is graduate medical education or training. The exchange visitor entered the U.S. to receive graduate medical education or training. And third one is specialized knowledge or skill. Skillless, the exchange visitor is a national or permanent resident of a country which has deemed the field of specialized knowledge or skill necessary to develop of the country as shown the exchange visitor's skill list, review the list 2009. Also restrictions, if you are subject to a 2-year home country present requirements, you must return to your home country for accumulated total period at least 2 years before you can do any of the following. First, change of status. So why in the U.S. to a non-immigration categories of a temporary worker H or intra-company transferee L. Also a trust status. Why in the U.S. to immigrant's visa, lawful permanent resident status. Receive an immigrant's visa at U.S. Embassy or Consulate, or receive a temporary worker H, intra-company transferee L, or fiance K visa at a U.S. Embassy for Consulate. So you read more on their website here, and also the extending your stay, change of status, additional informations, and so much more information you need to know. Alright guys, so now we are going to J1 intern and training and deep informations. So opportunities to gain hands-on professional experience. And for this opportunity to go through everything we need to know about the program and fee details. Also the definitions between the interns and trainee and any frequently So with the company, actually, as the ambassador, I work with them. Not really work with them, but I sharing the informations. This is the paid internship and training program in the US. You're not gonna come here and work for free. You actually get paid, which is really great that you can come here, experience the culture, also save up a little bit of money when on the side so you can travel, or when you return to your home country, that's considered investment. And especially MCC is the company I present to share this information, or you actually can use the link to schedule with them to learn more about the J1 visa. I'm just sharing the collective information that I think that the company been doing great with the EB3 program, and also now they actually expanding to a J1 visa, to recruiting people from overseas, from anywhere, from Asia, Europe, Africa, and also Latin America to come here to work for a certain company or sponsorship that they collaborate with. Depends on the network or even the connections of the company with different sponsorship depends on where they are located in the US. In order to connect and offer you a certain job positions. And for this, MCC located in Miami, so that's the reason why they connect with people from the Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. It's like from the East and South of America. So a little bit intro about MCC is the Global Workforce Solutions was established to recruit international talents for U.S. company. And for this, MCC training program is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the requirements here you can see is the training program and also intern. So for training program, you do anything related to experience required between 5 and 10 years for those who not have a culinary school certificate. For instance, if you did not go to school because you don't want to or you don't have money, that's fine. But as long as you work for a certain place, restaurants, or a few that can actually demonstrate and show that you have from 5 to 10 year experience, you still qualify to apply for the trainee program. And you at least 1 year experience or max 10 years after completion of culinary studies. So the third requirement for this is intimate level of English, because when you're stepping into, anywhere beside your own country that don't speak your own language, the common language is English. And so pretty much you come to US, everybody speak English here and they communicate mainly through English. So if you don't have the ability to speak, understand, or write, it might be challenging for you. So they require a certain level for English so you can communicate, understand the directions, or also the instructions while the job you're doing for training program. So I highly recommend for you to actually, improve or upgrade your knowledge while you're waiting for your certificates or approved for the program. Also, next one, a professional and technical degree, and also valid passport, at least up to 2 years. So when you come here to work, your passport is still valid and you're still able to actually travel and fly out or in the US. Another one is the intern. It's less comprehensive and requirements than the trainee. For this is be currently enrolled in culinary arts studies or have graduated within 12 months. And also you need intermediate level of English and valid passport. Anyway, moving on, how does it work for the program? So first you apply for the vacancy, where you can actually see on the website what jobs are opening right now, what are the sponsorship or the company that they are hiring for the positions, and also list out the hours, how much you can pay, how much it costs, how much you will receive in 1 year, and the job descriptions, what are the job requirements for you to actually apply. Also, where that actually sponsorship located in the state, so I like to live here instead of here. So that is the first step. Second is the preliminary interview. This is the part of MCC actually jump in to share with you or actually interview you to see if you qualify for this job before sending your resume or application to a sponsorship, in order to help the sponsor saving time to make sure that your English is good, that you can communicate with them. Second, they will ask you certain questions related to your health or qualifications, and also different things that they want to get from you. And after you pass that second interview with MCC, you're moving to the third round, is the interview with the employer. So now you actually pass and you gotta get ready to answer some basic knowledge and skill, and also to see if you qualify for the certain job. For instance, if you qualify for a hospitality degree or the intern program, they're gonna ask you how much or how long have you been doing with the culinary or hospitality industry. What kind of positions have you been doing? And also how's your customer service, depends on the positions and all that, to understand that if you qualify or not before they hiring you. So if you are confident and you already have a lot of experience in those field that you've been doing or you've been in school, they will moving forward to the next step, which is pointing to the step 4, which is work permit applications. They will gather all the information from you to apply for the work permits, and then from there, if you pass everything, if they take a couple weeks or so, they will actually send you all the paperwork, and then you actually can apply for the visa process called consular process. I'm sorry for the background. Consular process in your home country, and you can interview again with the U.S. Embassy at your home country. So now they're gonna ask you certain questions: how long are you gonna be there? What kind of job are you gonna do? And where are you gonna work? And what is your intention for this job? All that question you need to understand. That's the reason why you need to stay involved in the application process in order to understand where's your sponsorship located. Because in the US, there's 50 states, and also how long will it take for you to complete the training, or even intern, and also like how much money you get paid, how much money you would get paid, all that in order for them to like determine if you're qualified to go. And also, last step is arrive in the US and begin to work. So now you understand a little bit about the process, how does it work, and also the difference between the trainee program and intern. We're moving to see what is the job available with the MCC USA program here. So currently right now, they are concentrated on whoever want to come to the US to work relate to hospitality and also culinary field. So technically, they have 3 positions available right now on their website. And they have the first one is the chef or cook front of the house, located in Alabama. Also, the second one is Chick-fil-A restaurant assistant manager, and also third one is the line cook Peruvian bar. Because this actually kind of limited, and they are new for this program, so only 3 positions are available right now, but let's actually jump into the first positions so you understand a little bit better of the hourly wage and also location-wise and the durations. I'm going to click on the first one, which is the chef's cook in front of the house. So for the job deal here, locations is, like I said, in Alabama. So if you don't know the geography of the US or where it's located, we actually can go through together after that. First of all, this is company descriptions. So Coastal restaurants offer fresh, classic coastal fare featuring chef-inspired dishes, local seafood, seasonal favorites, and indulgent dessert. So for the job descriptions, what they're looking for in candidates, which is you, is the culinary-driven individual, people with highest standards of work ethics, passionate cooks, bakery, pastry, enthusiastic, dynamic, and proactive people from all around the world, people who want to take their culinary career to the next level, people eager to learn and develop. Responsibility include coordinating with the kitchen team, maintaining clean workstations, and ensuring high standards of food quality. Also, there's a few photos of the company here, and they also show the requisitory to apply. And they already listed, and we already talked about this at the beginning of this website. So, projected budget, this is monthly income around $2,400 monthly, and projected cost for housing and transportation is where you actually pay for your rent. Also, commute to go to work is $600, and compensations for per year is around $20,880 for a whole year. So disclaimer that they actually listed on the website, the projected budgets provide an estimate for information purposes only. Meals will be provided by the employer during work hours. That's actually really nice of them, because mostly or the other places you actually get to pay for your meals. The first rent for accommodations must be paid in advance. $600 estimate. The budget does not include flights to arrive and depart from the USA. Around 400 to 700 estimate, depends on actually where you fly from. If from Asia, it's actually more expensive. Taxes and other expenses, they may vary based on individual lifestyle choices. Also, cost for application one time only. So this designated sponsor processing fee is around $1,870 USA, and you actually have to pay upfront. First payment is $1,220 when you sign a contract. Also, $420 non-refundable fees, and including with that is $650 US mandatory health insurance upon visa approval. Financing options available offered by MCC USA. So let me actually break it down, because when you actually arrive in the US, having a health insurance is really important, to be honest, because you are not resident here, and in order for you to actually travel or live here, you need a health insurance, because anything happens, you have health insurance covered for you, and it's actually bringing you the cost of expenses when you actually get to the hospital checkup, and also medical expenses or bills, and medicine or drugs, not drugs, medicines when you get sick. So if you don't know, cost of medical expenses here in the US is extremely high. So for instance, anything happen, you call the ambulance or the firefighters to actually come and, or 911, it's cost you at least a couple $1,000 from the first place. So if you don't have anything to cover, or even when you arrive at any ER, which is emergency, what does the R stand for? I don't know. Emergency room. They will ask for your health insurance first, and anything they will ask for health insurance. So highly recommended to pay for that upfront, or when you arrive you can actually change, but to different one that actually less expensive, but you can actually talk to the company in order to figure that out. Alright, so we have the first one is the job for the chef and cook front of the house. We going to the Chick-fil-A restaurant assistant manager here, which is like $14 only, and you do assistant manager. That's actually kind of low. But I don't really know what's the deal here, but you work in Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, and duration is 12 months. So let's see what's the job deal here. So if you don't know, Chick-fil-A is one of the most famous fast food chains in the US, and it's a lot of customer, even Americans or even myself, love Chick-fil-A because it's just good, and then they high quality than most of the other one that I try. So this is actually a good deal or good sponsor for you to work and also put in your resume to build your portfolio. So for this, Chick-fil-A Goodwill Point FSR in Hamilton Place Mall is organized of care, dedicated to a continuing improving servant-led work environment where people come first. A little bit actually long for job descriptions, but the Chick-fil-A Cultural Exchange Positions is a one-year journey through a quick service restaurant's environment where the participants will learn all aspects of the restaurant's operations. This will include a front house, guest-facing positions where the participant will give them the tools and training necessary to offer Chick-fil-A industry leading level of service, as well as the back of the house kitchen training where the participant will learn cold and hot size prep and become certified in food safety procedures. The participants will also learn the basic of quick service, restaurant, business, finance, administrations, and other financial procedures. The participants will also be offered the opportunity for personal leadership growth via our leadership training and development program, which include classroom time, on-the-job application skills, and mentoring from the Chick-fil-A franchise and a highly experienced team. The participant will also learn the basic of will also offer the opportunity for personal and leadership growth via our leadership training and development program, which include classroom. We'll also have the chance to enjoy all the Chattanooga, Tennessee has offered, from outdoor to the vibrant local art scenes. And also the Tennessee River runs through the center, Chattanooga, and around Lookout Mountain. So whether it's water sport, rock climbing, hand gliding, or hiking, Chattanooga has everything you need for outdoor activities. It sounds like a fun job. I actually want to work now. Its arts and instrument are appealing and provide throughout the largest community theaters in the country. A vibrant local music scene and the Hunter Art Museum are a number of venues to take in traveling musicians or Broadway show. After a wintering 2-hour drive to the west is the city of Nashville. The home country music or 2-hour drive south will bring the participant to Atlanta, Georgia, where one can enjoy just about anything the largest city in the southern United States has to offer. Actually, this sounds so good. And I think also because Tennessee has a little bit living expenses or living costs, depends on the city and the states. If you understand more about the U.S. economy or, the geography, you will understand why the projected cost for housing and transportation is now changed from Alabama was $600 and right now it's $900. But this actually lower salary compared to the other one. And you must be wondering, it's like, wow, per year I only earn $26,880, actually $2,000 difference compared to the other job of the chef. But for me, in order to understand this, is technically stepping to the manager or assistant manager positions, you have a bigger opportunity to approach with people who have the entrepreneurship mindset. And also in the future, if you're planning to have your own company and also like restaurants, or become any leaders in your community, this actually offer a great opportunity and also like long-term investment. Think about this, you're not coming here to actually make money, you're coming here to learn, and they actually offer like leadership training program and all that good stuff for a classroom training. It's a free education, to be honest, because a lot of people actually come here for F1 student visa and they have to pay like $100,000 in order to go to school and just theories, but you get paid, you still work and do training, and they still, bring you different experience and opportunity. I think this is a great deal. And also, if you are an entrepreneur, have an open-minded mindset, you will see this as an opportunity for you to grow instead of coming here to work. Because for me personally, I always share with my audience and also my staff in Vietnam, you coming to the US, maybe you're gonna work for people for a short period of time, but you need to step into the manager positions or even be your own boss in order to make more money and understand how money work and also work ethics in general. You can't just not stay in the employee mindset for a long time, because you will rely on them for anything salary. You become, so dependent on the job that they pay you for minimum wage. So I need you to understand and use this as an opportunity to make quality connections here when you work at these job positions. So when you do anything in life, these connections, your network is your net worth. So it's with people who in your circle is your money. So that is what I mean, and I want you to understand how to use this as an opportunity to leverage yourself. Lastly is the line cook Peruvian. This is actually less descriptions, but they are located in Orlando. And if you don't know, Orlando is the central of Florida. It's bringing a lot of tourists because they have Disney, they have Universal, and whenever they have tourists, it's attract a lot of money and bring you venue. And this company or restaurants is a culinary heaven that celebrates the vibrant and exquisite flavors of Peruvian cuisine, founded in a passionate and skilled Peruvian chef. This restaurant takes pride in offering a unique dining experience that combines traditional creativity and exceptional service. Job description: join the team as a light cook at the vibrant Peruvian restaurant. Bring the authentic flavors of Peru to life, preparing and cooking traditional dishes with precision. Work closely with their kitchen team, maintain high food quality standards, and contribute to exceptional dining experience. Passion for Peruvian cuisine and ability to thrive in a fast-paced environment required. Enjoy their exciting culinary journey. Also, because if you actually never worked in the US before, they are extremely fast-paced environment. It's like boom, boom, boom. So if you work in your home country and never actually experienced anything like that, coming here is a little bit of culture shock, and you need to really adapt with the environment, also the people, and how the work pays here at these places for you to catch up, and then also be open-minded to learn and so much more. For this, actually the salary is higher than the last two jobs that you guys can see. Per year, you can make up to more than $30,000 a year. It's not a lot. In the US, when you actually get your paperwork and everything, some people make like 30 grand, 50 grand a month. And coming here to make that much in a year is something for you to keep in mind. It's a starting point. You gotta start at the bottom and not to reach the top. And you gotta satisfy for something in here. And that's okay. So that are 3 jobs positions that are available with MCC USA. And if you have information or want to have a new opportunity, maybe stay update with the website. But average time to obtain a work visa around 2 to 8 weeks, depends on the country of residence. So yeah, really different. If you're from Asia, maybe it takes longer, or even Latin America, it really depends. So you have to be patient with the process. And coming here is also a process. You need to know, or like even think about, do I have enough money to, come into the US with all these fees? Do I have enough saving in order to actually like invest in this? And so much questions. What are my end goals coming to the US to actually doing this? So if you are like a group of young people, or in your mid-age, thinking, oh, I just want to come here to work for like a year to know people and go back because I love my home country, I don't want to live in the US, and you do whatever you want. But some people like, I need to like become a citizen or anything, and they choose different routes because they have a different ending goal compared to you. So you need to ask yourself, what do you want? So we already actually answered. So moving on is, what is MCC USA? So we already talked about this. They are based in Miami, Florida, and in 2022 they recruited workers in 52 countries and have more than 3,000 jobs available in 2023. And MCC USA worldwide present is they have 52 countries: South America, Central America, Caribbean, and Oceania, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And they also, you can actually read their press release, and also if you actually ready to apply, you can click the link on my link below on the description to schedule an interview with them or apply to see if you qualify, and you can start from there. But if you're not ready, continue watching, because I'm going to show you this video so you can understand a little bit in deep about what are they actually looking for. Guys, so if you actually stay here until this point, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, and this will be a bonus for you because you stick around, and some people might be missing out, but not you. So first of all, later I'm going to share with you what are the other programs from huge company here in the US, and also what or which state should you choose based on the salaries and why is that. And also I want to show you the video. So that's the top 2 right now for me that I would like to share with you. So let me share my screen here and showing you. First of all, this is the visa program for Marriott. And Marriott's like huge hotel chains in the world. And they do offer the visa program if you actually, interested in the J1 visa program for students or interns to gain experience working in Marriott hotels within the United States. And you see in here the J1 visa training program. If you're currently working or studying in the hospitality field outside of the US, the J1 exchange visitor training program offers you the opportunity to gain experience working in Marriott hotels within the US. The program guidelines, the J1 visa can provide an opportunity for practicals on the job training in the US for foreign nationals who are either interns or trainees. Here are some things to keep in mind if you are considering a career enhancing J1 opportunity with Marriott in the US. To qualify as the J1 intern, an individual must be either currently enrolled in pursuing studies at a degree or certificate granting boss, secondary academic institutions outside the US, or have graduated from such institutions no more than 12 months prior his or her exchange program start date. To qualify as a J1 trainee, an individual must have either a degree or professional certificate from a foreign post-secondary academic institution and at least 1 year prior work-related experience acquired outside the US, or 5 year work experience outside the US without a benefits degree. J1 program in the hospitality and tourism category are limited to 12 months for both interns and trainees. Training may be approved for a J1 program that is up to 18 months in length if the subject area for training is not hospitality and tourism. As a J1 intern or trainee, you may be placed in a training program in the room division's front office, food and beverage, culinary, and other programs as determined by the hotel. Once the employee offer has been accepted by international training candidate, the individual must contact one of the below J1 sponsorship organizations authorized by the U.S. Department of State to assist with the form of DS 2019 certificate eligibility and the visa J1 applications. Sponsorships organizations below is the list of the sponsorship organizations that are authorized to assist with the placing J1 visa holder in internship training program with the Marriott. Please contact the organization listed for information about qualification and application procedures. Alliance Abroad Group, American Hospitality Academy, Council for International Education Exchange, CIEE, Cultural Homestay International, Cultural Vista, previous Association for International Practical Training, and Global Career Exchange, Global Educational Concept, Inter-Exchange, International Educational Exchange, INTRAC, J1 Visa Exchange, Inc., Odyssey International Exchange, Pan Atlantic International, Society for Human Resources Management, Spirit Cultural Exchange, Worldwide International Students Exchange WISE. So that is pretty much for the Marriott. So now actually jumping to, I would like to show you the geography of the US in order for you to really understand or why you should choose a certain state to live, okay? Since this is actually just a short term or like not any relating to anything for the long-term investment, but you need to actually understand the geography, also, you know, where you're gonna live, to travel, and also make a decisions to apply for certain application here. So I am based on California, Los Angeles. So it's like Southern California. And if you don't know, Los Angeles is the state or the city of, you know, a lot of entertainment and relate to Hollywood and people who love like movie and, you know, modeling and all that stuff. So you need to understand each state or even city offer what. To choose that, since like I mentioned, it's relate a lot to hospitality, you know, to entertainment industry. So if you don't do anything relate to this field, coming here or living here is maybe a little bit challenging for you because the connection is not related to what you want or what you like. But linked to that, we're learning a little bit about the US geography. So in here, you can see it's the US is 50 states, zoom out, from, you know, the north, west, south, and east. And they are at the south of the US, they are next to Mexico. And on the north is next to Canada. So because of a geography is, you know, if it's next to Canada, it will be cold. And if it's close to the Mexico, then it'll be hotter, you know, when it's going south. So technically, because of the water, people prefer to leave to stay there because they like or refer the certain water that they interest. For instance, if you like the cold weather, you refer maybe New York or somewhere Boston because it's really like cold. Maybe you know, you need to look it up. But if you refer like sunny and also warm area, you refer maybe to live in California, or maybe you refer to humidity. People like Florida because of that. And also it's next to the beach. The water is more warm and different type of atmosphere they want to experience. Even though California is a big state, but then the north and the south is so different because the north is really close to Oregon. So the weather here always foggy and it's cold. For that is actually affect a lot of people like who don't like the cold to live in San Francisco. And also, if you know, San Francisco is actually offer a lot of like jobs related to technology, and also like software engineer. So people who don't do anything related to this maybe have a little bit difficulty to live here because you cannot find a job, right? So because of that uniqueness of the city and state, understand this, it's easier for you. So I can actually give you a little bit of brief what are the strengths or weaknesses of each state here, because I mostly even travel to not much, but not everywhere, but at least a couple of the states here in the US to understand about what is that really about. So I've been to Seattle, and you know, Seattle is a city, it's a lot of technology too. Different careers also like really booming here, but it's the base of a lot of like tech company, you know, like Amazon or certain big company there. So people, I believe that live in Seattle offer a job related to technology, and also because it's raining, is doomy, and then also it's cold. Some people don't like living here because they said that it's give them depressions. And you gotta know about this because the J1 visa or even EB3 visa, they trying to bring people to US who cannot, where they cannot really fulfill the job vacancy because they don't have enough people to live in the rural area, because most people, even your home country, people want to move to the big city where's the money flow, you know. So whoever live in a big city, make a lot of money, they want to move there even though they're not from there, but they there for the money. So in order for them to protect the jobs for citizens here, they will actually have a lot of vacancies from a rural area that not a lot of Americans live. So that's the reason why you cannot even choose the state, and you won't able to find any of the jobs in the big city like California, New York, or Seattle, or even Texas, because of these factors. So you need to understand. But if you want to have more options, like, oh, I want to work, you know, in Seattle, out of this, you need to go to school. You need to get a degree and, you know, choose the big companies to work there. But then, you know, there's a price for that too, because you need to pay more money for education. It's around 200K plus. If you think if you have that much money, then choose the different routes instead. Because I mentioned this is related to hospitality and culinary options. There's another state that is really booming with that tourism is Nevada, which is Las Vegas. But then the thing is, Las Vegas is a big city and it's a lot of people go there for work. There's no job vacancy for you to be there because it's the money flow. A lot of people go there for tourists. Definitely there's no job for people from overseas. But who knows? Depends. But like I said, it's people from different city or state in the US move to Las Vegas for work, and they can make like 100K plus with just only in 3 months in summer. And it's really hard for you to even make that options. Also moving to like different state like Utah or Montana or Idaho. Arizona is more like a little bit hotter because it's going toward to different geography here. And it seemed like for me, it's not really like famous for a lot of people, but it's still there's a lot of people live here. And also these states and city are a lot booming too. There are different things that I offer, but usually I don't see a lot of jobs that they lack of to hire people from the first place. And so that's the reason why you don't see anything much from these states. Also moving to like South Dakota and anything on top of this, it's really rural. Maybe they do offer a job that they laptop is from EB3, because now there's factories there, there's farm that they need people to work. And if you actually willing to live in those city or state, they might offer you a different visa category that leading to green card. You need to check with another video that I share to in order to see if they actually looking for or giving you that options to apply from the first place. Moving to Texas is huge. There's big and also like different city here, but There's also like area, certain small area that they lack about employment. They might offer, but at the moment, I haven't seen anything that will recruit people or need people from Texas. Because there's a lot of like, people live in Texas too, so not much thing. Uh, and another thing for people to choose is the salary base. Also, each state they have a different minimum wage that they offer. So depends on that. People actually like moving to a bigger city to pay or get a higher salary, but higher salary also meaning that higher living expenses. Even though, like, oh, you make around $20 in California, but your house or living expenses is like 1,400, 1,500 a month. Meanwhile, in Texas, maybe you get paid like $12 per hour, but your living expenses may be less than $1,000. So that is just how it is. And a lot of people actually moving or migrate to different state because of that reason, that living expenses or living costs. So another one I want to speak, a lot of like jobs that actually lacked up, it's in the southeast of America. Also because the company itself, MCC USA, they are based from Miami, Florida. So that's the reason why, depends on the location, they can actually reach out to certain sponsorship and then sponsor a company to offer you a job because they base here. It's really hard for them to actually reach or fly job, or make connections from the West Coast. So that's the reason why the job right now actually offer from New Orleans back to Alabama and also like Jacksonville or Orlando, Florida, concentrate on, but EB3 they have more. So you need to understand geography there. Okay, so down here is hot. It's barely cold, but it's still cold for newcomers, just like me. So when I move here to Florida, I still feel like cold from my bones, but it's like more humid. It's not humid from the west of Florida, but it's like somewhere humid from Orlando down to Miami. And since, like I said, it's next to, Bahamas and Cuba and Latin America, it's more people from different ethnic city live there. If you're Asian, I am Asian, maybe not much of people live in Miami are Asian, but still there are populations of people live there, but majority will be Latin American and also like people who speak Spanish. There's still quite a bit of amount of people from different ethnic city as well. Okay, so as mentioned, because as you see here, they three jobs that they offer is from Alabama, and Orlando, and also Tennessee. Tennessee is another big state that offer job, but also if you don't know Tennessee, Nashville is really famous because there's a lot of like singers there because it's a city of country music. So most of the time, they might have job offer for you. And so that's a three-man arc. And for the first one is the Orange Beach from Alabama. So this actually located next to the beach and actually right at the beach. So, wherever at the beach is bring a lot of traffic. So, and then if you don't know much about the destination, I used to live the first day when I moved here in the state, I live in Pensacola. So technically that city is for military and retirement town because it's not a lot of young people there, but still quite a bit of good amount of young people live there. And it's next to like close to Destin and big and famous tourist locations. So people can actually drive there. And from to the west side, you actually like a couple hours away from New Orleans, and New Orleans actually a huge city or famous city too for like Madagascar and big city for tourism as well because French colonized or not colonized but French culture, Cuban and Southern food is really good. So it's beneficial for you to even like travel to New Orleans or Pensacola or Destin. So that is something that you should keep in mind. For Orlando, if you don't know much about Orlando, it's the central of Florida. It's where tourists come here a lot, even Americans, because they have Disney World. You know, Disney is actually famous everywhere, and also like Universal and all that famous destinations. So they always boost the tourism here a lot. And if you actually interested in Florida, it's close to Tampa. It's another big city and also expensive. Since Orlando is like famous for tourists, right? So living costs also a bit higher compared to Alabama or Orange Beach in Alabama. And from Orlando, you can drive to Miami. Miami is a huge big city for party and also like, you know, Sin City, I guess. Not like Vegas, but also like something for you to know the geography. So I'm like, oh, you know, if I work here, I can go to Miami for having fun, do pool party, go to the beach. But Orlando is also close to the beach, but Miami is popular for more party in general. And if you're not like a party person, then it might be not for you. So another one is Tennessee. And I don't even know, oh, Chattanooga here. And it's actually close to Atlanta. It's like around a couple hours away from Atlanta. And Atlanta is not a big city. That also a lot of people from Africa. Also, you know, huge Asian community here. It's really a lot of things to do as well. Atlanta is also another expensive city in the US. So maybe Chattanooga, I don't know how to say it correctly, might be expensive because it's somewhere between Nashville and Atlanta. But yeah, they don't have beach here. So you see, they in the middle of nowhere. So whoever live or like the beach vibe, they would love to go work at Alabama because it's right there. Orlando, maybe it's not close to the beach, but at least a couple hours away. But from Nashville, you inside the land. And if you not refer the beach style, then you know you can make that decision to choose the job. So that's technically what I want to share with you about the geography, and you can actually based on what I share and think about it. Also, you need to do your own research too about um, the salary base. You know, it's not much different for $14 and $15, but it's like, do you really want to live there? You see yourself living there at that state. What's the weather look like? How's the people there? How's the temperature? And also, what is my long-term benefits to make friends with people from this city? Do I see myself living here for a long term or just stay here for 1 year and learning about the culture? How's convenient for you to even travel from that city to different destination in the US? You need to actually think about that. So, you know, like Orlando may be a good option because it's big city. So there's a lot of like direct flights, go to Atlanta, go to Miami, go to Texas, go like New York. So that's something for you. But if you live in like kind of like rural area a little bit or like less population, maybe like Alabama, maybe the flight will be more expensive because it's out of nowhere. It's still somewhere, but you know what I mean. It will be more cost of flying to different destinations, but maybe it's close to different places or cities that you want to drive. It's really something. So you have to do that your own research, and that is what I just want to share today. All right. So now lastly, moving to the video, I would like to share with you, and you can actually have a better understanding about what is the program of VB3, and we are good to go.
The J1 visa is considered a cultural training visa. It's basically a paid internship and trainee program that lasts for 12 months. Okay, so what we do basically is we provide our employers in the United States with the type of professionals they need from all over the world. So we're hiring from Latin America, we're hiring from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, basically from everywhere. Okay, and these are, as I was saying, these are paid internship and trainee positions in the United States. What can you expect from this program? It is a shorter program than EB3, but it gives the person the opportunity to discover new cities, familiarize with the American culture, travel within the United States, attend a diverse group of events, develop and master the English language better, and also improve your professional skills and expand your network of professionals. Okay. So as I was saying, we have two types of positions. We have trainees and interns. What is the difference? The difference is that, for example, a trainee is considered someone that has already graduated from culinary or hospitality fields. These are the two fields we're focusing on right now for J1, so culinary and hospitality. And we consider a trainee someone that it has recently graduated, let's say within 1 year, or someone that has no academic certificate but has between 5 and 10 years of work experience. Okay. We do require an intermediate level of English. This is something we validate during our interviews. If you have a certificate of English, that would be great. But we do conduct interviews in English just so we can verify the level the candidate has. You also need a valid passport. We recommend that your passport has at least 2 years so you can get the visa issued at your local embassy, okay? For the intern position, we're looking at the same requirements, but we do need this person to be currently enrolled in culinary or hospitality institution, or someone that has graduated within 12 months. So someone currently studying or someone that has recently graduated. They have to be, again, from within the culinary and hospitality fields, have a valid passport, and an intermediate level of conversational English. We have 6 steps for you to apply to these positions. So the first steps will be apply to one of our vacancy. If you visit our website, mccjobs.co, I'm going to leave the link at the end. You can apply to the vacancy of your choice. So you're going to see there the job descriptions for all the positions we have, the cities in which they're located, and also the payment amount per hour. If you qualify, then we'll have a preliminary interview with MCC, with one of our consultants. And if the person passes that interview, then they'll have an interview with the host company, with the employer. Once the person is accepted by the host company, then they're issued an offer letter. And with that offer letter, we can start their application process for the visa. We will gather some documents from you. So passport, letters of recommendation, valid resume, and then some other documents that our consultants might request from you.
So I just want to pause it here and emphasize a little bit about what she mentions about the offer letters and also the letter of recommendations. I don't know exactly how in Asia or even different country in the world worked for this, but in the US, because I came to school here for maybe at least 5 years, recommendation letter is something that you need to file a different higher authorities positions, which is your manager, previous manager, current manager, or professor at school, or anyone that actually can write something good about you to show the employers or even the MCC that you are a good candidate for this position. Why? Because they try to save time for the hiring process. And using somebody else reputations and title, they actually can make sure that you can deliver something they're looking for to save time. For instance, if I'm looking for someone, you do interview with them, they say, oh yeah, I'm a good worker, work ethics, this and that. They always tell you the good things you want to hear. But when you have someone actually write you something, if you don't actually offer a good work ethics, or you late for work, or you're not even show up, you doing like half-ass job, you don't have that type of a recommendation letter that people are gonna write for you. They're not gonna spend their time and like, absolutely not. You did not work good at our company or whatever you work at, so I cannot use my name to write that for you. So building the connection with your current employer or professor for anything at school, because you have a good work ethic, actually bring you more opportunity to land the job easier. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind. Your work ethics need to align with whatever people tell you, because if not, they will be disappointed. Also, another one is the offer letter. So technically, in the US, when you after the interview, if you did pretty good for first round, second round, they will send you the offer letter to say, hey, congratulations, we would love you to join this position's XYZ with us at the amount of time, and we offer you this job for how long and how much for the salary, and if you think that you accept this position, get back to us and deadline. So they give you a deadline, so that's consider or call the offer letter, that you actually need to get back to them and say, hey, I would love to appreciate for the job offer letter, and would more than happy to accept the job and can't wait to start. So that's just how the process works. And then also after everything, your resume also need to make sure that is follow or the US structure, so you can actually demonstrate everything you're good at. Maybe your leadership style, your English, your words that you achieve at school or something at your workplace, all the skill that you have or can offer on the table. List it out everything on a resume that related to the job. For instance, if you apply for this job at hospitality, you cannot list, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a famous singer, or I get tickets or medallions for famous singer. It's not relatable, and they don't really care. What can you offer relate to the field that they're looking for, which is culinary and hospitality. So that is just one thing I want to emphasize.
After we complete the application, we usually take about 15 days to review the application. If the applicant is eligible, then she or he will go to an interview at the embassy. And when the person is approved, then they'll receive their passport back with the J1 visa issued. The timing really varies on where the person is located. The process should take between 8 to 12 weeks, but we have some cities that have longer periods of waiting periods for the J1 to be issued. So I do recommend consulting your local embassy website just to see how long they're taking for processing the J1 visa. Okay, once you get your passport back with your visa, you already have a starting date that's issued on your training plan, and then you'll able to travel and start working with your sponsor. These are some of our partners. Currently, we're working with Coastal Orange Beach. This is beachfront restaurant located in the coast of Alabama. It's really big and beautiful. They have an amazing J1 training program, very complete. We're also working with Chick-fil-A, which is a very large fast food franchise in the United States. We're also pleased to work with Don Julio and Pisco. Both restaurants are located in Orlando, Florida, and Fortuna Bakery as well, also located in Orlando. For all of these sponsors, we're looking at kitchen positions, so chefs or line cooks. And for Chick-fil-A, we're looking more at an manager position. So for Chick-fil-A, we're looking at a assistant manager position for the restaurants. And this is located in Tennessee. Chick-fil-A is located in Tennessee. Right now, as I was saying, we have these 4 sponsors available. You can see a little bit of information on them here on this slide. Okay, and now, so we project that the people that start working with our sponsors are going to earn $2,400 a month. So minimum salary for these positions are $14 per hour. The program requires that the person works between 38 to 45 hours per week. They're not allowed to work overtime just because they're on training. So, and also considering this is a cultural visa, they should not exceed the 45 hours per week to make sure the person has the opportunity to experience the culture and travel around a little bit and get to know the city a little bit more. So we don't want them, to work longer hours. So that gives you 28,800 per year. So that's what you make minimum during your 12 months of stay in the United States. Okay. This process has a cost for the applicant. It is a lower cost than for EB3. It is $1,870 per applicant. The first payment is only due when you receive an offer letter and sign a contract with us and with the host company. So until you have been accepted by an employer, you don't have to pay us anything. So we'll take the first payment with that signature of the contract, and the first payment will be $1,220. And when you get your visa approved, we expect the other part of the payment, which is $650. And this is just to cover the mandatory health insurance that you're going to need to travel to the United States. So this is something the government requires you to have international coverage, medical coverage before travel. And that makes the $1,870. We do have a few financing opportunities available for whoever needs a little extra help with that. So we're able to cover for the first month of rent or the $650 of medical insurance. If you need to, we can do that. That's available on our side. And we do work that like case specific with each candidate. Okay. But the total cost of the program would be $1,870. I would like to show you a video, which I think it's wonderful, from one of our sponsors. This is Coastal Orange. As I was telling you, this is a really, really big restaurant, a really big property on the beach. And they have an amazing J1 program that I wanted to share with you so you can hear some of the experiences of the people that have already traveled and are working there. So if you give me a couple of minutes, I'll share that with you.
The Coastal Floribama Apprenticeship Program. We have 14 international students, J1 culinary trainee, intern. So these students come to us from all over the world. They have a 1-year very strenuous curriculum as part of their program. but what they're getting here will be invaluable for whenever they go back to their home countries to be the best versions of themselves that they can be every single day. And, you know, that's important because we want these students to be ambassadors for us all over the world. And then with our US-based culinary students, right now, we've got 41 students that are kind of trying out level one. We'll take the most driven of them and put them into a certified fundamentals program. And then from there, they go into the certified sous chef program, all done through the Alabama Office of Apprenticeships, U.S. Department of Labor's apprenticeship program, American Culinary Federation apprenticeship program, and then all the partnerships that we have. These kids are coming in and getting a chance to really change their lives, to get out of jobs and into careers in a very short career path, start to finish. They can be certified through the American Culinary Federation as certified sous chefs within a 2.5-year program. So those are just some things that really make the Coastal Florida apprenticeship program very unique. That's really what sets us apart, is the commitment to the person and making sure that, you know, we help develop them in a way that no one else really would. So all the American Culinary Federation apprenticeship programs in the U.S., that we're one of only 2 that is completely self-funded, meaning there's no cost whatsoever to any of these apprentices. And we really make sure that they are the best versions of themselves that they can be every single day.
That's one of the sponsors you could be working with if you decide to apply for one of these positions at the J1 program. And I'm gonna go ahead and answer any questions that you might have. It's 8 to 12 weeks. Yes, that's right. But as I was saying, I would suggest just checking your local embassy, US Embassy website to see what the J1 waiting times are. No, it cannot be extended. You usually have to go back to your home country and work for another 2 years before you can apply to another J1, unless you have an exemption marked on your J1 visa. So it would say 212 exempt if you do not require to wait for 24 months, but then you'll have to go back to your country and reapply for another J1 if you want to. And that would not, it will not lead you to a green card or a permanent resident. Hi, Rizwan, how are you? Everyone that is currently enrolled in a culinary or hospitality program can apply. Someone that has recently graduated from culinary or hospitality can apply. And also, if there's someone that doesn't have a culinary certificate, they also can apply if they have between 5 and 10 years of working experience in the field. You don't need to have a certificate if you have between 5 and 10 years of working experience. You cannot apply to J1 if you are in the process of EB3. Something that the US government looks into is, you know, like making sure the person that applies doesn't have the extension to remain in the country after the 12 months. So if you are currently in an permanent visa process, you won't be eligible to apply. You can stay 1 month prior to embassy website. So if you Google J1 visa processing times, US Embassy, you should be able to access all the waiting times for different cities. The exemption is 212E. Experience in business, or if you have a degree from business, but you have culinary experience between 5 and 10 years, you can apply. If you don't have the experience, then you won't be eligible just because you are not related to the field at this point. Bruce, unfortunately, you cannot stay with the J1. If the sponsor wants to hire you after that, then you'll have to go back to your home country and start, like a regular work visa process. We don't have anything for teaching positions right now. There is no age requirements. However, taking into consideration that these are intern and trainee positions, we usually see younger people apply. But there is no limit. I mean, if someone has started their experience later, they can apply as long as they meet the eligibility requirements. If you want to transfer from J1 to F1, that's something you're going to have to do, I mean, on your own when you go back to your home country. We don't really do that. Yes, it is a 1-year paid internship program. I'm sorry, Bright. I don't really manage the EB3 process. But if you contact someone from our website, they'll be happy to help, of course. MD, you cannot apply from within the US. You have to apply it outside the United States. We do not provide accommodation. What we can do is we can help applicants that require help financing the first month of rent. And what we do in those cases, we help them find a place, and then we'll pay for the first month, and then we'll deduct that from their payroll. Coastal Orange Beach does offer housing at $600 per month. So they have a really beautiful place, with townhouses near the restaurant. There isn't a deadline. We don't have a deadline at this point. We're constantly recruiting, so you can apply whenever you're ready. If you are on an EB3 process, unfortunately, you are not able to apply to J1. We don't have a deadline. And as I was saying, the process should take around 8 to 12 weeks to be completed. The process takes 8 to 12 weeks. No, unfortunately, you cannot work for another host company while you are on a J1. No, MD, you cannot transfer from within the United States. Giselle, I don't really speak Portuguese, but am I understanding that you would like to know if you can travel with a J2 dependent? Is that right? Can you give me a thumbs up? Thumbs up? Okay, about J2s, you are able to travel with a J2 dependent if you need to, but that would be a separate visa process. So once you get your J1 visa, you can apply for a J2 for your dependents, but that's something you have to do on your own. We don't really do that for anyone, and you have to be able to prove to the embassy that you have the necessary economic resources to support your family while they're there. Yes, Amanda, you need to be currently employed here in the country. That's correct. Or in another country, but you need to be currently working within the field.
All right, so I hope that is pretty much what you learned today about the J1 visa that MCC representative was showing you. Also, I would like to emphasize a little bit, if you have more questions that you need to get some answer, make sure to go to the website and you can read more, but actually we can do that together. So I can explain a little bit. I know the video is getting long, but this is really important for me to educate and also sharing with you these informations, because based on my knowledge and also personal experience, we can, help each other out with this. Give me 1 second and I need that. All right, so in order for you to actually understand better different frequently asked questions, we're going to the sections to show all the questions regarding to what they do, what the J1 visa process are like, and a characteristic our company that have vacancy in the US, how can apply the many questions sent on the social network. So we already know what is the visa J1 about. What we actually can learn again to make sure that you understand fully what is that. So the J1 exchange visitor visa is a non-immigration visa issued by the US Department of State, offering numerous opportunity for international individuals seeking to travel and gain experience in the United States. Administrated by the State Department, the J1 Exchange Visitor Program is a visitor type initiate that allows foreign nationals come to the US for purposes such as teaching, studying, conducting research, demonstrating special skills, or receiving on-the-job training. The program offers flexible durations ranging from a few weeks to several years. The program's primary objective is to expose individuals from various countries to the culture and institutions of the U.S. It's aimed to foster better understanding and facilitate educational and cultural exchange program, promoting dialogue and cooperations between nations and a wide range of issues. What is J1 training? The J1 visa encompasses 15 different categories, including the training categories. This non-immigration visa enables foreign individuals to participate in training program with a US-based host organizations for maximum durations of 18 months. To eligible, you must possess either a degree or professional certificates from a post-secondary academic institutions recognized by the relevant ministry outside of the US, along with at least 1 year of relevant work experience in your occupational field gained outside the US. Alternatively, you may qualify, you become accumulative a minimum of 5 years of work experience in your occupational field outside the US. So another one is what is J1 internship? We did training, now internship. The J1 also encompasses 15 categories for a non-immigration visa training opportunity in US-based host organization for maximum period of 12 months compared to the last one is 18 months. To qualify, you must meet one of the following criteria. Be currently enrolled in a degree or certificate program at a post-secondary academic institutions recognized by the relevant ministry outside US and are actively pursuing your studies or have graduated from such an institutions within a 12 months preceding the start date of your internship program. Next question, what is on-the-job training? On-the-job training is primarily focused on the concept of learning by doing, not theories. It's essential to distinguish on-the-job training from the traditional apprenticeships model practiced in many countries. Unlike apprenticeships, on-the-job training take less structured approach to developing job skill and knowledge, placing responsibility of learning on individual. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for international participants as it's required to become an active and equal partners in the learning process. It is helpful to view the host organizations and providing the classroom through a written training plan and the necessary tool to learn about specific activity or industry. However, it is participants' responsibility to take the initiative, be proactive learner. Can you change to J status to J1? So whatever your status right now, the question is, can you change to this visa? The J1 visa is classified as a non-immigration visa, which necessitates applicants to demonstrate strong connection to their home country. If an applicant is recently in the US, MCC require them to return to their home country. So if you're here for any certain visa and you want to apply for this, you gotta return your home country in order to do that. During this period, the applicant is advised to engage in work or attend classes that are relevant to the proposed training. It is important to emphasize that MCC will not provide any documents to individuals who are currently residing in the United States. To apply for a J1 visa, applicants must leave the country and initiate applicant process for their home country. Does host pay me overtime? Not necessary in the US. Overtime is typically earned after working 40 hours per week and is not completely compensated as a rate of 1.5 times the base pay. There are two classifications of position, exam and non-exam. Employees designated as exam receive a fixed wage for their specific job duties, while non-exam employees are paid based on the actual hours worked. This classification is determined based on the position itself rather than the individual. Consequently, in a J1 program, if positions held by a US employee is considered exam, J1 participant in the same position will also classify as exam. The same principle applies to non-exam positions. US organizations are not obligated to provide overtime to exempt employees. However, participants classified as non-exempt are eligible for overtime compensations. The regulation regarding overtime determinations may vary between organizations and states. Can they pay me bonus? Yes, there are no regulations that prohibited participants from earning a bonus through their program. Paid vacation or sick leave. So basically, when you actually, travel or take vacation, would they pay for you? Or if you get sick during your working time, would you get paid? The answer is no. Under US law, there's no legal requirements for US organizations to provide paid leave, including vacation and sick time to the employees, because you are not citizen here. So those privilege not applicable to overseas people come here to go to work in the US. For instance, if you work 40 hours a week and you get sick, maybe like a day or two, then you consider not count for the salary and you stay home to get recovered, but they're not going to pay you. But if you are, it's like a long-term or official employee at a certain company in the US, technically if you get sick, they have a certain amount or maybe like time or for the employee to take off and still get paid. Depends on the job positions and also their title and compensation and benefits. For that reason, J1 participants are not entitled to any specific type of pay leave as a matter of legal obligations. The leave policy applicable to J1 participants would depend on the rules and regulation of their respective host organizations. In most cases, participants will need to accumulate or earn paid vacation and sick leave while fulfilling specific criteria, typically based on the durations of their tenure with the host organizations. As a general guideline, new employee in the US typically earn around 1 to 2 weeks of vacation in the first year of employment. Therefore, participants should not anticipate receiving more than 2 weeks of vacation during their program period in the US. Pay taxes. This is actually really comprehensive because if you actually coming to US, you don't know much about the tax regulations and also how that work here. The company may actually do that for you in advance if you're actually working for W-2, which is, they pay you a salary, and you can actually consult with different CPA, stand for Certified Professional Accountant, in order for you to, learn more about this question. Participants who receive income from a U.S. source are obligated to pay federal, state, and local income taxes. State income tax rates may vary, and it's important to note that some states do not impose an income tax. The federal income tax is determined based on the wage level, and participants can expect to pay approximately 25% of their gross salary towards federal income taxes. The organizations will ultimately deduct federal and state income tax from participant paycheck, which is they already deduct the tax. You don't have to do anything because you are considered W-2, like I said, go to work as an employee. It's different a little bit compared to 1099, which is in the US, is stay for self-employed when they work for themselves and they have to file tax for themselves. You actually can read more on the IRS website in order to understand about the work classifications for this. And also, the organizations will, however, participants are not required to pay a Social Security and Medicare taxes, FICA, or Federal Unemployment Tax, FUTA, as they are not eligible for these benefits. In general, all J-1 visa holders are considered non-resident for tax purposes because you just come here for work for 1 year, you're not considered resident. So participants are required to file both a federal income tax return and, if applicable, a state income tax return depending on the presence of state income tax. These tax returns must be filed by April 15 of each year in which participants earn income in the US. And for instance, if the program spanned from July 3rd, 2022 to July 2nd, 2023, participants will need to file a tax return for 2 years. And in this example, the first return must be filed by April 15, 2023 for income earned in 2022. And the second return must be filed by the April 15, 2024 for income earned in 2023. For participants will use either Form 1040-NR, EZs, NR stands for non-resident, and Form 1040-NR to file their federal tax return. These forms are typically available after January 1st and can be obtained from the IRS, Internal Revenue Service Officer, local public libraries, and the IRS website. Information regarding forms for filling state income tax return can be found after January 1st at local public libraries or on their respective state's tax website. Do you need health insurance? Is it important for participants to always have the health insurance card with them? In the event of an accident or unforeseen medical needs, participants will require to provide proof of coverage from their health insurance policy unless it is life-threatening emergency. Clinics, doctors, and hospitals typically request to see the health insurance card before providing any treatment. Additionally, participants should carry their J-1 visa documentation to prove their legal presence in the U.S. How to apply for Social Security number? Participants without a U.S. Social Security number, stand for SSN, will apply for the Social Security card at the local office of the Social Security Administration's SSA. They should bring their passport, I-94 record from DS 2019, and copy of their birth certificates for identifications. The application process may take about 1 hour, and the participant should expect a wait in the line. The SSA will make a copy of the necessary documents and return the origins note. The customer service agent will verify the participants' arrived information through the saved database issues in the receipt. The Social Security card will be delivered within 2 or 4 weeks. If there are delays in record updates, participants will receive a receipt, and the SSA will initiate a formal inquiry, which can take 4 to 6 weeks. Participants can add it to their host employer payroll using the temporary dumping number until they obtain their social security number. It is important for participants to provide an actual social security number to their host employer as soon as they receive it. So this is my personal sharing with you, because when I applied for social security number, when I applied for a job at the Chamber of Commerce with the India, technically when I went there, it's the same process that you have to wait in line, but then you provide them the paperwork that they requested, and then you have to wait for a 2 or 4 weeks that as I mentioned. But sometime when you need to start a job right away, you need that number for them to actually fill out and everything for you. You before leaving the table or the office, you should ask whoever actually there in the office or the officer. You ask them kindly, hey, can I actually have the number? They actually will read it to you, but make sure you gotta ask them, because if you don't ask, they're not gonna say anything. And this is the bonus if you're actually watching this until this point. And you have to write down in your phone or the paper, and then you bring that number, give it to your employer, even though you don't have the actual card, but that number is still will be your card. They don't have to wait until whatsoever. They will have that number right away after processing your documents. Do you need a social security number? This question is really confusing. They said like, do you need a social security number right away in order to give to your employer? No, they can use the fake one, but in general, you do need it, okay? So participants can include in their host organization's payroll, even if they don't have the social security number yet. By presenting the receipt of their social security card application, the host organization can use a temporary dummy number to enroll them in the payroll system until they obtain their actual SSN. However, participants should All right, so continuing on the questions, can you change the location of training? No. So just think about this. Your sponsor getting you to the US to work for them, and you want to change the employer and the locations? That's not fair for them, okay? Because they is the one to hire you, so you need to stick with them. So the answer that they answer here is no. And also the form of DS 2019 provide information about participants' designated training location. As participants enter US for specific on the job training at a specific location, it is not possible to change the training location. So if you make sure to choose the right one in order to saving time and, avoid any costs. Also, if there are significant changes in financials or other conditions with the host employer during the training program, participants should contact Cultural Vista to explore the possibility of security training at the different sites. However, as a visa sponsor, only Cultural Vista has the authority to approve a change in training location. It is crucial to remember that participants are legally authorized to earn a wage solely at the host employer specific on the form of DS 2019. It is important to emphasize that severe penalties can be imposed on both of the employer and the participant if the participant is not legally authorized to earn a wage at the designated employer. So what if you lose the I-94 card? Well, let's read this first, and I also want to share my experience. Participants must apply for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, USCIS, of the Department of Homeland Security to obtain a new I-94 card. It is crucial to understand that the I-94 card serves as the official proof of legal entry in the U.S. Without this document, participants lack evidence of their lawful entry and may face deportations. To request a replacement card, participants need to complete and submit the I-102 form to USCIS, along with the required fees for a lost I-94 card. Additional participants should promptly notify Cultural Vista about the loss of their I-94 card. So for this also, you actually can find online by going to I-94, or put on Google I-94 visa or card. It actually pops up, and you can actually, let me actually do that right now. So I-94, they will actually pops up this official website, and you can actually go there by, already visiting and need proof of visitor status. You get most recent I-94. But if you actually never enter US, then you need to choose different options. But yeah, in here, by clicking on this, you enter your travel informations with like your name that actually they provide on the visa or the passport, and you fill out this information and you can do next, and they will show you everything online. You can print it out. What if you lose passport? This is actually really difficult, but I mentioned with the people from Vietnam, as long as long as you can find a US embassy of your country in the US, you actually can reach out to them and renew or request a new passport, but try to not carry your passport while you here in the US. You can print it out and you can leave it at home in a safety area and print a copy and carry with you so you're not lost it. And also try to actually apply for an ID card or a driver license if you just decided to stay and drive in the US for that year. Then you don't have to carry a passport with you. So yeah, if participant lost their passport, which is also contended J1 visa, they should promptly contact the nearest embassy or consulate of their country of citizenship in the US to inquire about obtaining a replacement passport. It is important to note that if participants travel outside the US after receiving a new passport, they must obtain a new J1 visa before re-entering the country, as a new passport will not have the visa in it. If a lost passport contains the I-94 card, participants will need to apply for a replacement I-94 card. Refer to above instructions. If the lost passport contains a form of DS 2019, participant would need to obtain a replacement of form DS 2019 from cultural visa. For this though, like they will provide a DS 2019 differently, but you can store or do scanning everything on PDF and upload to your Google Drive to save. So make sure to do that before coming to US or arrive in the US. Scan it, take a photo, upload in your Google Drive. It will be safe because you can access pretty much everywhere as long as you have Wi-Fi or connections with your documentation. All right, what if you travel outside the US during the process of this? So participants can travel outside the US for up to 30 consecutive days during the training program. Before traveling, participants must send the Form DS 2019 to Cultural Vista for signature, which confirms their sponsorship. The signature is valid for 1 year and help facilitate their return without questioning at the border. To re-enter the United States, participants need a valid mutable entry visa in the passport. If they have a single entry visa for an expired visa, they should contact Cultural Vista in advance for necessary documentations. When traveling to Canada or Mexico for less than 30 days, participants who have an I-94 card do not need to surrender it at a border. They can keep the card and show it to border official upon their return. Participants should ensure they meet the visa requirements for entering Canada or Mexico, as the J1 visa is only valid for the US. While US citizens may not require a visa for travel to Canada or Mexico, participants from the other countries should check their home country visa requirement from these destinations. Travel validation signature are not needed for travel to Canada or Mexico. So yeah, it depends on your passport holder. Some countries have a strong passport, so they can travel anywhere without asking a new visa. But it's like my country, especially Vietnam, it's really weak visa or passport. It's a passport, so it's really complicated to travel anywhere, even like in Asia, especially when we go to Japan, we need to ask for like visa before actually travel there, Change home address. So for this, it is imperative that Cultural Vista maintain an accurate current home address for all participants in the United States. Participants must notify Cultural Vista of any address changes within 10 business days or risk losing their visa status. So if you move to a new apartment or you relocate to live with your friends, you gotta update it, because they need to know exactly where you live. How long you can stay in the US after the program. Individuals are permitted by the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, to stay in the United States for up to 30 days after the end date specified on your DS 2019 Certificate of Eligibility. It is crucial to adhere to these regulations. If a participant's training program concludes before DS 2019 end date, they should contact Cultural Vista. It is important to know that exceeding the authorized stay, even by 1 day, can result in severe penalties and hinder future visit to the US. Can participants stay at the tourist? If a participant wishes to travel within the state for more than 30 days after completing their training program, they should exit the country and re-enter on a tourist visa, which is the B1 visa. The specific requirements for tourist visa depending on the participant's citizenship, and they should refer to a Department of State website for further information. Please be aware that participants cannot continue to receive wages from their host employer beyond the last day on the training program specified on the Form DS 2019. It is important to note that both of the participant and the employer may face significant penalty if the participant is not legally authorized to receive wages from that employer. Change J1 visa to other visa, which is like if you come here for J1 visa to work, and can you change to like different visa or not? The J1 visa is temporary visa and issued with the understanding that you do not intend to permanently reside in the US. As a part of Cultural Vista sponsorship, both the participants and the host employer are required to sign an obligations and responsibility form affirming their commitment to maintaining the participant non-immigration status. Schools that require frequently seek H-1B or other visa status for their teachers may face limitation in their ability to collaborate with Cultural Vista in the future. Apply for another visa. The J1 is the same thing, and question is participate in the second J1 training program. So you already applied for the first one. Can you apply to another one if you decide to come back? Yes, this is possible under specific circumstances. Both trainees and interns can participate in additional training and internship programs if they focus on acquiring more advanced skill or explore the different field of expertise. Interns can engage in additional internship as long as they remain enrolled as students or begin a new internship within 12 months of graduating. Trainees, on the other hand, are eligible for additional training program after resigning outside the US for a minimum 2 years following the initial training program. Next question, participate in additional training program. No, participants who are successfully completed an internship program and no longer meet the selections criteria for internship program must reside outside the US for 2 years before they can apply for training positions. Remember the 2 years home country that I mentioned with you from the beginning, if you pay attention? Some countries actually do not have that restriction. Some do, so make sure that you know the advance and do your own research before apply or thinking about that. Extend training program. The maximum is mean like after 12 months, can you extend to stay longer or not? The maximum duration permitted on the job training on the J1 visa is 18 months, and while the J1 intern visa is 12 months. It is if the participant is engaged in a 6-month training program and both participants and the host employer deem it beneficial to extend the program for additional 12 months, MCC can facilitate program extensions. So they can do it for you. It depends on the host company if they want to actually keep you or not. But think about this: if you extend another year, but there's no like long-term reaching to your goals, why you do that? You know? Think about it. Or are you thinking like you can meet someone or learn more? It's really up to you. So please be aware that MCC charges a fee for program extensions and require the submissions of a training plan for extended period. The approval process for the extension may take around 2 or 3 weeks. So it is advisable to plan and apply for extension before the original program end date. To request the extensions, please contact MCC via, their informations. Also, they mentioned about again, repeated information. What is the 2-year home program? So that an exchange visitor is subject to a 2-year home country physical presence requirement under the following conditions. Your J1 visa program is funded in a whole, in a part, directly or indirectly by the US government or the government of your nationality or last resident. You are national or permanent resident of a country which has deemed your field in specialized knowledge or skill necessary to develop of the country as shows that exchange visitor skills. Who is considered eligible dependent? So dependents must be spouse or children of the J1 holder. Common law marriage are not recognized and not eligible for J2 dependent visa. The age limit for dependents is 21. Can spouse participate in work? Yes. Upon arrival at the US, the J1 visa dependent spouse can apply for work authorization through USCIS under category 274A12C. The applications require demonstrating financial independence from the J1 visa participants. Processing time vary, typically take at least 60 days. The application is submitted on Form I-765 with the required fee and statement of the family expenses. If approved, work authorization is valid until the J1 holder authorized stay ends. J2 dependents are subject to Social Security, federal employment, and income taxes. MCC is not involved in the J1 dependent spouse work authorization application. So they will take care for your main application, but whoever wants to go with you, they need to do that. You need to do that separately for them, or they have to do it by themselves. So that's all the information I would like to share with you guys today. And I hope that you guys learn a lot. And I know that it's been a long time. I'm really getting tired already. I've been recording this video for almost like 7 hours now, to even edit and then do a video. And I hope that you learned tons of good information from this video. And hopefully that you can actually think about, consider coming to the future to work for this J1 visa if you would like to improve your knowledge about hospitality and culinary field. And also make sure to check out different playlists on my channel to learn more about the EB3 visa. And at the same time, if you think this is for you for this visa, I'm like, I just want to stay in the US for 1 year and work and go back to my home country or whatever reason you choose, click the link below and schedule, reach out to them and also apply to see if you qualify or not for this program. And thank you so much for your time and watching this, and make sure to like, comment, or share to your friends who have interest in this J1 visa program. Have a good one.